at Southampton. That wraps things up for you.
Well, thank you very much, Colin.
Thank you. Now, to mark the centenary of the outbreak of the Great War, we've been looking at how the war transformed life on the home front.
Brooksby Hall in Leicestershire, of course, it's now an agricultural college, but in World War I it was home to a famous and rather controversial sea admiral.
Rare footage we've uncovered from the Imperial War Museums also shows that the hall acted as a convalescent home for badly injured sailors. I've been to Brooksby to find out more. A hall steeped in history. In landlocked Leicestershire, Brooksby Hall was home to one of World War I's most famous sea admirals. Local historian Malcolm Britton took me on a tour of the property. In the oak-lined dining room, Admiral David Beatty still gazes down. Quite the aristocrat, except Admiral Beatty wasn't to the manner born.
He came from an Irish family, but by the time he was born, his parents lived in Cheshire. And it was only later in life, when he married a rich divorcee, that he bought these various houses like Brooksby for the fox hunting. He liked to stand out in a crowd. So, for example, I understand he had the wrong number of buttons on his tunic, but also he always wore his cap at a rakish angle that was referred to as the Beatty tilt.
Having secured wealth through his marriage, Admiral Beatty climbed the slippery pole through the naval ranks. He was promoted to Rear Admiral at just 39. He was the youngest admiral since the 18th century. At their first official meeting at the Admiralty, Winston Churchill is said to have looked at Beatty and remarked, "You look very young for an admiral." To which Beatty replied, "You, sir, look very young for a First Lord." The two hit it off straight away. While the Admiral was away at sea, his wife ran a convalescent home for badly wounded sailors at Brooksby. This remarkable footage showed patients, including amputees, enjoying a game of football. Exercise and cigarettes clearly good for morale.
The film that was shot here in front of the hall, which hasn't changed much. These villages had their hall and they were used for some form of service during the war, either military personnel there or convalescent homes like Brooksby.
Today, in the church on the Brooksby estate, a huge Union flag dominates, a memento of the Battle of Jutland, the largest naval conflict of World War I. Here's our man.
There he is, the bronze bust of Beatty.
In later years, Admiral Beatty's record as a naval commander came under scrutiny in some quarters. Some considered him a little gung-ho, even impetuous. Beatty lost a few ships, it has to be said.
He did, yes. And there's a famous comment when two of them went up fairly quickly, and blew up and then went down to the bottom of the ocean. There's something wrong with our bloody ships today.
But in Brooksby, he remains a hero. A huge programme of events is planned for the anniversary of the Battle of Jutland.
I think it's part of the bigger picture to pass these stories down to future generations.
There's also this striking artefact in the grounds, a sea mine which used to float in the lake and at which the Admiral is said to have taken pot shots. An old sea dog at home in the green hills of Leicestershire.